Welcome everyone to day 3 of our 7-day nutrition challenge. I'm Coach Tiff and I am here to walk you through what we've been doing so far. It's amazing to think it's already been almost a month and we've gone through 3 full challenges and we're in the middle of our last challenge. So just want to remind you, this challenge is part of 4 elements, 4 core principles to releasing toxins easily. And each week we focused on a different element. The first week we looked at water and hydration, providing really good sources of water, increasing the intake. In the second week we looked at breathing and the element of air and the importance of air quality around you, as well as how to increase flow through box breathing and releasing stress as well. In week 3, we looked at the element of fire and our fuel sources, as well as awareness and how becoming aware of our food choices can really impact our cravings. And this week we are looking at nutrition. So we've given up sugar last week as a way to start to think about moving into a different type of fuel source, the more ketogenic fuel source over the sugar and glucose fuel source. This week we're continuing that. So I just want to give a brief overview of all of the elements that you're adding on each day of the challenge. So in the first week, we looked at increasing our water intake to 6 to 8 glasses of spring water or ceramic filtered water a day. And that's a small glass for small people and a big glass for big people. So hopefully you have really noticed an increase in the quantity of hydration in your skin, and you're eliminating more frequently, keeping your kidneys in good shape and noticing a difference there. Let us know in the group what you're noticing, having hydrated yourself well for the last few weeks. And as we talk about how things are getting eliminated from your body, I want to just go over this core idea that in detox, there's a lot of programs out there that will put you on different herbs and different beverages, liquid detox diets, lemon, maple syrup, and all these kinds of weird things. So I want you to keep in mind that while sometimes those can provide some short-term gains, they don't really give you a really good long-term outlook in terms of your health. And the reason is that they don't support you in a foundational way to really support your body in doing its own job of detoxing and eliminating. We are here, we exist because our body does these things naturally. And the more that we can support them, support our bodies to do that, the better off they will do the job. So it's more important to add the good stuff than just to take a vacation from the bad. So that's why we're really adding things to your regimen as we go along. We're adding the water, we're adding the deep breathing, we're adding the mental awareness of what it takes to make good food choices. And we're adding nutrition this week in the form of the green smoothie. So keep that in mind as you get marketed different health hacks as a way to try to give you short-term gains, because in the long run, they're not doing you a big benefit. So in week 2, in the air element, we looked at box breathing, and box breathing is a really incredible way to relieve stress and calm your body. It helps to lower your heart rate over time as you do this more frequently, and your cortisol lessens. You start to notice a real difference in your baseline heart level. So keep doing the box breathing, and in that week's videos, there are instructions on how to continue to do that. And we talked about flow states and how When we get into flow states, we're able to produce chemicals in our brain that bring about joy. They bring about focus and clarity, and they help us learn, and they really motivate us to have more of this. And so we talked about how to start to get into flow states. You know, increase in motivation, increase in creativity, and twice as fast learning a master skill. I mean, flow states are where it's at. This is more and more you're going to see as flow states are becoming hacked and we learn how to get into them more quickly, how we can really see performance in our lives through adding in a daily practice of getting into flow. And then last week, we looked at adding fruit on an empty stomach. So we want to add fruit on an empty stomach because fruit is meant to pass through us quickly. And if you pack it in with other foods and, you know, put food on top and you know, eat heavier foods before fruit, you're going to likely get gas and bloating. You get fermentation, not the good kind. You want to be able to support beneficial bacteria. And when you add all of that sugar in there in the form of fruit, you can really create some problems for yourself. So, but we do want you to be able to manage letting go of these other sugars that we're talking about. And so by doing that, you can get a little help by having fruit in the morning. So we took a break from refined sugars and sweeteners last week. This was huge. And you should be noticing some reactions from your food devil and your food angel. And so we talked about really noticing that food dialogue and how to make the difference in shortening the time period between when you make a food decision, you have a craving, you decide you're going to eat something that's non-functional, you eat it, you experience what that feels like, you notice each bite. Does it get better or worse as you go along? Generally, it gets worse. And then later, you have the experience of what a non-functional food feels like in your body, and it's not great. So that not great, and the moment you make the choice, the closer you can bring those two in together in time, the sooner you're going to overcome that craving. So keep an eye on your food devil and your food angel dialogue. So important because we're going to continue with our enhancements this week, and we're going to look at giving up some other things, and being very aware of those dialogues can really help to address what kind of hunger it is and what is coming up for you when you have those cravings. And we talked about the 6 human hungers. There's a whole video on 6 human hungers that's separate and apart from these shorter videos. So it's a good 20 minutes in and of itself, really covers the basis on what hungers are, why there are differences in hungers, and which ones are good and which ones are unhelpful. And then again, with the fire element, we really got into discussing ancestral wisdom and the questions that you want to ask yourself as you are on this journey towards greater health and fitness. What are the things that you can be doing to help yourself in that process? And one of those things is gratitude. We know the studies are in, they show us how important gratitude is on creating a different mindset in our life. And this particular gratitude practice, looking at situation, describing behavior, and explaining the impact to another person, can really increase flow and good juices and happy vibes all around. So definitely recommend doing this practice at least once a day, and let us know the impact that it's having on you. So we added in this week drinking an Alka-Geyser in the morning after fruit, after your breakfast. And the recipe is in the Facebook group, so take a look at that. and we're taking a vacation from grains and potatoes. So we're talking about all the different grains. We want to eliminate grains because they are another source of sugar, and we're eliminating sugars right now so that we can really get at the drivers of our sugar cravings and how our food devil talks to us. And this is a great way to really get at that in a quick fashion. So let go of those grains and potatoes and add more fruits and veggies, fruits in the morning and veggies at night and in the afternoon. You can drink 2 appetizers if you really want to earn brownie points. Haha, brownie points. Also, we're taking a vacation from dairy. So milk, cheese, and butter, other dairy sources that you might find in packaged foods, even gluten-free types of breads. So really pay attention to packaged foods and look for those hidden sugars that are out there, because milk has a ton of them as well, and different kinds of names that they use as a way to either emulsify or flavor or add filling to a product. So this week, today, we're also going to be taking a vacation from alcohol. Alcohol has a ton of sugar in it, and so it's also in many different forms. It's fermented, and so we're really trying to give our gut and our intestinal flora, our good microbiome, a break from some of these other yeasts and things that are found in fermented foods. Excuse me, because they can add to the difficulty of flipping the switch into a ketogenic fuel burning. And as well, they can inhibit your ability to pay attention to the food dialogue. A little inebriation can tend to shut off awareness. And so it's a really great time to be able to just take a break. Just for this week, we're going to take a break and see what happens, see what kinds of dialogue comes up for you. And notice also that as we're taking out these grains and these sugars, and we're only putting in that fast fuel burning sugar of fruit in the morning, and we're not compacting it so it ferments, you're going to start to notice the bloat and gas disappear, and you're going to get a flat tummy feeling. It's a really nice place to be, and it feels really good, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So keep an eye out for that as you take a vacation from alcohol, and let me know on the Facebook group what you notice. And then additionally, we're going to keep adding in more fresh variety into your meals. So, you can really add variety and address variety hunger by going and shopping in different places. If you don't go to the farmer's market, take a look. Those are seasonable vegetables that you might not find at the store on a regular basis. Something different, something grown from a place nearby, a different source. Because what happens is, as you source in different locations, you're getting a different set of nutrients based on what that food type is and based on what soil it's grown in. And the soil is really important because it adds an incredible amount of bacteria, good beneficial bacteria that we want to access to improve your microbiome. And it's adding nutrients, and generally they're coming from a healthy topsoil. You want to try to source your veggies from local farmers that don't till, that are using organic or biodynamic methods, especially because when you don't till the soil, there are more microbes in that soil that are breaking down nutrients and making it available for the food. So healthy soil is really incredible. Plus, you don't want all the toxins that are applied from pesticide-driven crops that are managed on very large scales. And the more you can do this, the more access you have to a better food source, the more nutrients you're going to have, the less variety hunger you're going to have. You're going to feel satiated. Clients in WildFit are in, the clients we're working with right now are in week 11, they're never hungry because, in fact, they feel full all the time because they're eating well, they're eating really nutritious, they have really filled in those blanks in their cells as they're rebuilding their organs and their tissue and their musculature and their skeleton. Their body's saying, wow, I'm good. This feels great. And that's a really incredible place to be. So that's the goal. You want to try for as much variety as possible. Remember, our ancestors would get on average over 200 different types of fruits and vegetables in their diet every year. And I want to bet you that you probably only get maybe 10 or 12. So if you're lucky, 20. And if you're really creative, hopefully you're getting more than that. So be creative, explore new places, because, you know, one of the things that really helps flow as well is novelty and trying new things. So if you're getting out and you're trying new things, you're going to be lighting up some different areas in your brain, and you're going to be improving your nutritional quantities as well. So with that, I want to really encourage you to share your photos of recipes in the group. The more we do this together and the more that we collaborate and share our awareness, we help each other out as well. As we're learning about our dialogues and we're learning new recipes to try, and maybe there's challenges that you're facing and you think you're the only one, but trust me, you're not. Share it in the group and let us know how it's going for you. And I look forward to chatting with you on the last day of the challenge coming up on Saturday. So with that, have a beautiful day and walk in beauty.